It is time now for Better Money. The economy has certainly been in flux since the pandemic. That's an understatement, right? A lot of people worried about their jobs. So what do you do if you have been forced out of yours? Joel Johnson, a certified financial planner and managing partner at Johnson Brunetti Retirement and Investment Specialist, is here to talk about that. If it hasn't happened to you already, there's people who are fearful that it could happen.
People are fearful. Companies are merging. Companies are offering early buyout offers. There's a lot of uncertainty in the air. My son works for a company that there was a potential merger, didn't go through, but there's a lot of anxiety, especially for older employees that have been there for a while. And, I told them, keep your head down, just keep working, because there's a lot of things you can't control, but we can control how we're set up for that early retirement.
Okay, so the first thing is maybe just think of the hypothetical situation. What would happen if you don't go back to work?
Yeah, what's the worst case scenario? That old cliche sometimes is we plan for the worst and hope for the best. Well, what's the worst case scenario if you can't go back to work? Are you okay? Some people are in better shape than they think they are, but you really need to know exactly where you stand.
So much of that is going to be age dependent, I'm sure. And so the next thing, if you don't go back to work, then what about health insurance?
Health insurance, again, we talk about this all the time, Kara. It's one of the biggest costs in retirement, but certainly pre-retirement. So if you don't go back to work and you're under 65, what are you going to do to bridge that gap? There are many options. Some were not there before the Affordable Health Care Act, but it's a question that has to be answered.
Yeah, and we have the exchange here in Connecticut, which you're saying a lot of people are thinking those old terms that I'll never be able to afford health insurance on my own, and that may not be the case now. You might be able to have an affordable plan out there.
Right. And remember that premium is based on income. So it's very different than health insurance at our employer.
Okay. The next thing is, should you trigger Social Security or pensions early? Now, if you're really young, it's not going to work at all, but some people might be able to trigger it.
Yeah, you can trigger Social Security as early as 62 if you're a widower at age 60, but you may not want to do that. Pensions could be triggered earlier depending on the pension. This is where you really need to dig into an income analysis so that you find out, can I retire? Do I need to go back to work? What's my retirement income going to look like?
And then you want to consider getting some financial guidance, because someone like you can help really sort through this. And a computer report will generate and say, yes or no, you can do this.
Yeah, the problem with a computer report is it doesn't take into the emotions that all of us have, that people respond differently to crisis, to family situations, to the stock market going up and down. So yes, good financial advisors, they all have access to a lot of different software like we do. You can get that paper report that shows the numbers, but then you can also get some good wisdom, because financial advisors have worked with many other people that are in the same spot.
Absolutely. And so the main thing is you don't want people to panic. They're not alone. A lot of people are going through this. I think that makes us all feel better. Nobody is in a perfect situation, and a lot of people reevaluating. But you have a free offer. Can you retire if offered a buyout? And this is free for folks if they go to BetterMoneyTV.com, and you'll answer questions if people have them.
Yeah, we'll answer questions. It's a great guide, and even answers that question, well, if I don't take that buyout, am I going to lose my job anyway? So you want to make sure you get the guide.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Joel.
Thanks, Kara.
That's Better Money.